What's up guys, Alpha Predator King Bloody here, welcome to my World Championship series where I analyze my matches in the World Championship. So this time, this is the second episode of the round 3. We're examining my matches against Blue Phoenix Emigor, and I anticipated from the previous episode that this match was gonna end pretty much good for me at this point, because I had a frustrating first matchup for me. But let's jump quickly to the first match. So as you can see, I'm playing Aramia against his Lance. My Aramia is pretty much a tuned deck to deal with control decks. At this point, I will pretty much explain why I choose some cards in my deck. So this is a Rush Ramya, so I'm dropping turn 2 of Cinderball Faithbreaker, which is a good card, not only because it is a 2-3 drop 2, but because denies the Hunter's Gambit from my opponent. So turn 3, very fast, drop the 3-3, deny his Shadow ability and attack. So pretty much the pressure against him is very good. So he plays the Night Owl, but I have the response in my hand, which is pretty good for me. Lion Seductress. And then the surprise card, the Bazaar. I'm gonna explain this Bazaar choice. Bazaar is pretty good for me, not so much for other players, but let's examine why Bazaar is really good in Aramia. First of all, as a Rush Mage, you don't want to pay when you're drawing, okay? You don't want to, because you have to concentrating on burning your opponent, so you have no time to waste for the drawing genes. Especially the Tomb of Knowledge, with kind of pay 2 to draw 2, not very interesting. Well, if the opponent is playing a Swarm deck, you get a draw, he gets a draw, but you can kill his Swarm with the Supernovas. And if your opponent is playing control, this is what is going to happen. Your allies are going to take the advantage of the early bird, and even if your opponent plays and draw 1000 cards, he's gonna play only one per turn because he has only fatties. And this is pretty much what is going in this match. He has the hand full, but he is losing. And this is what is going to happen, because if he plays the Stop Thief, he won't win. Absolutely. Because he loses a turn, and my board, especially when I have 5 to 7 or 8 damage, it's not very interesting for him to do a Stop Thief. And this match is pretty much over at this point, because I have the draw, I have not enough burn to deal with him, just a Fireball and a Boomerang at this point. Pretty much kills him, and it is exactly what I'm going to do. If I remember right, I do Supernova because I did not have the Fireball in my hand. So pretty much a fast game 1 for me. Rush Ramia is really fast. If you don't have early responses, you are not going to win absolutely. I was expecting from him a Spell Eater Bands, which sometimes Lance plays, especially Fat Lance, because Fat Lance doesn't deal very much against this kind of rush decks. So my Rush Mage choice for the World Championship is not so reliable, because of course Rush Mages have plenty of bad matchups, but Rush Mages against control decks are pretty good. So seeing what my opponent was playing, we can say, I thought that my opponents were very good at playing control decks. So he played Zana, he was playing Fatty Lance, so my opponent was very skilled at playing control decks. I wanted to take advantage of his characteristic and try to burst him before he could do anything. So let's jump to the second match, which is exactly the copy of the first match. So let's see if the server responses. Okay. So let's jump to the second episode, second match, sorry. So let's see, in this, he is going to start. So when the rush mages doesn't start and the opponent get the early board presence, it's pretty much mess for you, because you can't go for the aggro plan in the game, especially if your opponent has an ability which deals pretty much with your allies. But this is not going to happen, because I can just disable his 3-2 and continue my pressure against him. So it's pretty much a death race. So what I'm trying to do is to drop the Bazaar, continue drawing, while at this point, if I remember well, he doesn't play the Stop Thief. He just played the Spirit Shuriken to try to do something, or maybe prevent me from dropping the third ally. But what I do is simply Lightning Strike. I don't care if he gets cards, because I already have the Bazaar, and what I do is just continue board pressuring him with my creatures. And this is pretty much a death race. So what I'm trying to do is to screw him up. Even if he has 20 cards in hand, if he plays Fatty Lands, he's not going to drop anything that can scare me till the turn 5, 6, or maybe 7, because the Oliver Fagin picks 7. Nathanias, which is pretty much playing for me, costs 7. So when he gets to 7, he's probably already dead, or about to. So this game is pretty much favorable for me. What I do is just attack with all my resources, even though my boomerang doesn't kill his weapon because has ambush. This match is for me at this point pretty much over, because I have plenty of burn in my hand. So what to do is just attack, but the creature is going to play, won't do anything against my seductors, because it's 4 health, and the biggest haste ally he has is 3-6. So what I'm trying to do at this point was just to kill his fatties while doing some damage. At this point, what I'm trying to do is just attack and play Supernova, because I know that at this point I won't get the board with creatures, because what you can do is just play fatties and overwhelm me with a fatty per turn. So at this point, with the Bazaar, what I can do is just continue drawing and burning him down. So he's at 9, so he doesn't have enough damage to kill me with nothing, pretty much nothing. So what I do is just go for the throat, and maybe a fireball at this point, if I remember well. Yes, boom. So there is pretty much nothing you can do, even if it drops a Spell Eater Bands, because in my hand I had a Leyline Nexus. I was pretty much saving that for him. So okay, he's trying to deny my draw, but at this point I have plenty of the burn I need to kill him. I also had a bad Santa in my hand. No, I did not have a bad Santa. So yeah, fireball and win. So pretty much fast games for me. So I recovered from the ashes of the first 2 matches with these kind of very fast 2 matchups for me. It was pretty much favorable for me. Like the first matchup was favorable for him, because the Zana deals pretty much well against Baduru. So this is a draw, simple, and pretty much interesting episode in my opinion, because the matches were very quick and there was not much response from my opponent in this episode, and also in the previous episode there was not much of a response for me. So pretty much unlikely to happen. First 2 matches we get a very bad matchup. Second matches we get very good matchup. So it's pretty much strange. It's very unlikely to happen at this point. So that's enough for this episode, guys. Check out the next videos, which probably will come the next week. So see you.